So, morning folks, welcome to the channel. I want to show you the cutest thing in the world, right? Look where he sits. He's not allowed in here because of the hooks. What a dog. Look at him. Sitting there, waiting on his dad. Not a bother. Waiting for his morning walk. So, loves the fish. Goes in after the mullet. He's a madman. He can actually sense them way faster than I can. And he sensed several big bass charging off. And then one day we were in Soline and I let him on because he's a terrier. He loves to run, right? He likes to just get in through the hedges and up in the dunes and sniff everything. That's what makes him happy, right? So, he was gone a good 20 minutes. I wasn't a bit worried, you know. I knew he'd be back. He was in the undergrowth somewhere. And I was walking slowly up towards the point. Next thing I see him come flying along the beach. He's only got 3 legs. You can absolutely horse along for a dog with 3 legs, right? He's just one huge big leg in the back, right? I found him in the hedge, run over. And the owners didn't want him or whatever. They wanted to get rid of him. And I wasn't going to let that happen because, well, because how could you? I mean, look at that. That's the best pal I've ever had. You know, when I was sick, he was at my side every day. Never left me. But so he came flying along and he had a mackerel between his teeth and the thing was still alive. To this day I've no idea how he caught it. I think it might have beached itself into a pool or something and he just got in and nabbed it. But he came back and I've never seen a dog as proud of itself. He was like, yeah, it's so funny. He's a brilliant little dog. Love him to bits. I'm always suspicious of people who don't like dogs. Just a bit suspicious. Like, why don't you like dogs? What's not to like? You know, I understand some people are afraid of dogs. Like, yeah, I get that. You know, and there's certain dogs I'd be a bit afraid of. Like, you know, just the look of them. You know, you think, geez, if he had to go with you, he'd pull the head off you. But in general, they're just good for your spirit, right? They're beautiful. Great personality. Personality goes a long way. So anyway, enough about dogs, more about fishing. So we have loads to talk about. I am determined to make hard lure fishing a thing again. Like fishing, bass fishing at the moment to me seems predominantly to be paddle tails, right? And top water. Now that's fine, except there's a whole lot more stuff you could be doing, right? And there's a lot more effective ways to catch bass now, and hard lures are certainly one of them. But so are other types of plastics, like the stick baits just went out of fashion, and that's ridiculous because nothing looks more like the natural bait than a stick bait does. Like the X-Layer, for example, is probably the best representation of a sand eel I've ever seen, despite the fact that actually it doesn't look that much like a sand eel, but when it's in the water and fished right, it looks incredibly like a sand eel. And its proven track record for catching fish is just insane. But I have a jig head to show you today that's, I think, going to be a game changer this year, so just bear with me. So before we get into talking about plastics, I just want to show you a Z Claw, right? That's the IU, and there's also metal IU, right? Now that to me is probably the nicest color they brought out. See that spot of orange, and you can't probably pick it up. It looks yellow, but that's actually a hint of chartreuse, and it's got the translucent body and then the brown back, which will show through from, you got a white belly, so you'll just get flashes of brown and chartreuse as it dips under the water. That's the one that I've kept, that and white. right? Those are my go-tos. I mean, it's just absolutely, like, I've kept the full range, right? To be honest, I have a whole box of Z-Claws, right? For when I go fishing from the boat, and I'll try every one of them, because on any given day one will do better than the other, and nobody knows why, right? But that there is just, so that's the IU color. Metal IU I don't think is any longer available, and there's a serious shortage of Z-Claws. I managed to procure probably, I think, the last of them, so so I'm going to have them in stock all summer, thank God. So what I've done is I've pretty much stocked up for, hopefully for the spring, and I'll over the next few days stock up the shop. So a lot of the first of the official stuff went on yesterday, so the likes of the Don Baloney 100s, I'm going to get that in the 140. The 140 is just beautiful. Yeah. The 100 is smashing, like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to absolutely fish the stink out of that. And you know what'll really absolutely muzzle that? I guarantee you that'll take a lot of sea trout this year. As will this fella in the smaller version, the wobbly. Right? But back to today's order. So I did order some new stuff, and I got some old favorites, right? So all of the proper colors, that's clear Aggie in the 4 and 5 inch 1-up shads are there again, right? All the colors that really do the damage. And we got a new color in. Well, we got 2 new colors in the Mad Eel 90. Look at that there, that's pink glitter. Now, if you know how well the pink Sandy Andy did, right? And they're so much better value than buying Sandy Andy's. Like, you get 6 lures for the price of 1, for the price of 2. Like much better value. And they're hardy as well. Like, you'll take a right few fish on 1 lure. Like, that's not a 1 fish lure. Like some of the Madness stuff, and I've bought some just for myself, are kind of 1 fish lures, but I bought them specifically for where I know if I'm casting here, I'm in with a chance at a really big fish, right? So that's all of that. So it's just more 1-up shads, right? Glow white is a really good colour in the 5 inch. But here's a lure I want to show you. Well, first off, I've had these in a long time and they haven't sold, and I think I probably didn't do a good enough job of telling people about them. Now they're going to Sheelan with me next week, but I bought these specifically. Tell I'm having a kind of a good day, right? I'm feeling well. Really think we're on the mend. But I bought these for sea trout. Right, those are going to absolutely murder sea trout. Now I'm going to need my glasses to on a Masu, right, from Duo. That's the slim 120 floating. Now I'm not talking about half-pound sea trout, I'm talking about proper trout, right? Trout to 4 or 5 pounds. They will absolutely murder that thing. So that one's going to Sheelan with me for the browns, just in case the water's a bit coloured. It fishes down a little bit as well, gets a bit of depth to it. So absolutely superb lure, right? But I got these fellas in and I wanted to show them to you. Now these are not going to be cheap because they're Megabass, right? So that's, we have some more Tarifas in, by the way. So if you're a Tarifa fan, today is a good day. I'm going to put all these to the side because I'm going to talk to you about those at the end. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Here's another hard lure we got in, right? So this is an incredibly popular bait in France, right? It's zip baits 1, 2, 3 floating, right? ZBL minnow. And you can see why. Absolutely gorgeous, right? So floating lure, so you're going to be able to pull it down. The fish is quite shallow. I need my glasses to give you the exact ratings on it. So it's 123 millimeters, 15 grams, right? So it fishes from 0.3 to 0.5 of a meter. So it only fishes a couple of foot down, 2 foot down, depending on how. If you hold the rod tip up, it'll fish even shallower, right? But that's going to be absolutely lethal. Like, just so well made, right? I was talking to one of the guys from Ultimate Fishing, and it's in his top 5. So I said, right, we'll take him on his word, and we'll take a chance on it. I haven't fished it yet, but I'm going to. I mean, I just love hardbait fishing. It's a skill in all of itself. Those are just more. I use egg claws, right, just to keep them in stock. White egg claws. So we're gonna have egg claws all summer, which is good news because a lot of places are not. You know, I believe in the axiom: if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Now, I'll put these to the side as well. I want to show you these properly. So, yeah, put those there. I want to show you those too. So, some of the colours we got back in the 1-Up Shad 5-inch. I mean, just beautiful, right? Such a awesome pollock imitation. I mean, look at those, right? And just a classic 064, right? Tinsel brown. Beautiful colour. I mean, you're fishing a rocky headland over kelp or whatever. I would either fish that or something like this fella, the golden bait, right? I'd hook it up onto a decoy, Missy Massive, you know, like a 4.0, 5.0, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. Measure it up yourself. Or a BKK would work equally well, you know, at your own lead, or buy a clip-on lead, whatever, you know, whatever way you wanna get it down a little bit. But fish it weedless and just get it to roll over the top of the kelp, because the bass actually sit down into the kelp, right? They bury themselves in it. They're sat in it. They're just resting and digesting and taking their time. They're in no hurry to go anywhere. And if you can pull one of those fish up, you know, I did it maybe 3 years ago on the Copper Coast. I had his nibs trouble there with me, and we went through a gap into a little secret spot I have, and there's only 100 yards of fishing in this spot, right? And it fishes kind of, well, it'll fish the whole way through the tide. I mean, like, if you were to get cut off in there, it'd fish at high water, right? But some fellas kind of are waiting to get through the gap, and they go through and they fish from 2 hours down. But I've always found it fishes best at low water, and what you have is all the kelp is kind of, the beds are almost exposed, some of them are exposed or whatever, and you have these huge deep gutters, right, that step out, if you know what I mean, and you have to kind of thread your way through the gutters or whatever out onto the final ledge, so you can flick it out in amongst the kelp where the bass are. So I thread my way through, and the dog, you know, obviously does his own thing. He was off rambling around the place or whatever. The next thing I cast the lure and a fish hit me and I gave it to him and I knew instantly the rod flattened. I knew, Jesus Christ, this is a monster. And it just took off. Went straight for sea, so I was like, fine, just let it go, let it go, let it go. Trying to keep me cool, trying to keep me balanced. And next thing he buried in the kelp. And I was like, oh shite. What am I gonna do, you know? So I just held fast, I kept steady pressure on him, and next thing I felt a budge. I could feel his head shaking all the time. And I felt another budge. I was like, come on, come on, come on. And then boom, out he came and I fucking wound down on him. I tightened the drag, I wound right down on him. I got him up on the surface and he just went bananas on the surface. And we fought it out up top. Then I loosened the drag a little bit again, gave him a bit of line. He didn't dive for the kelp again. But I got him about 10, 15 yards from the shore, right? And Muggins out there shows up going fucking bananas. And I'm like, oh no. What does he do? But he jumps straight into the water after the fish. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So, I'm there bent into this huge bass. He's swimming around in circles trying to attack the fish. Right? So eventually I fell into the water and I had to grab the fish. I came out of the water, right? The rod was absolutely destroyed. I had the fish under one arm and the dog under another arm. And I threw the dog up onto the thing. I measured it out at just over 73 centimeters. The picture of it on my Instagram. But when I turned around, there was a whole line of people up on top of the cliff and they were all clapping and laughing. They'd been camping up in the field. They'd been watching me. I was like, oh my God, I'm never bringing you fishing ever again, you little monster, you. But what a fish. I mean, Jesus Christ, the stories I could tell you. But, you know, it's a pity it was on my own. It's so much better crack when you're fishing with somebody, right? But, yeah, that was a cracker of a fish. So, just to change the profile a little bit, right? So all the paddle tails at the minute are the one profile, right? And nobody can get the black minnows or whatever. And like, especially here where I am in the river, there's all sorts of stuff there that, like, from smelt and sardines and all sorts. So I got in these. These are absolutely awesome little bait and they're so well tested. These are the Mad Shad. I think these are the hundreds. Now, of course, I'm doing this live, so I won't get it right. Oh, no, I didn't do too bad. I mean, look at that. It's the profile, right? So it looks totally different to your standard, like, skinny, sandy imitation. Right? Beautiful. Mad Shad from Madness. And the colour on that one is, I love that hint of purple in the belly, the clear, the brown back. Hang on now. So that's the Mad Shad 100, right? And those are the Evo heads to go with it. I have loads of different weights in that Evo head. So, like, beach fishermen are going to be really interested in that bait. Estuary fishermen are going to want to know about that bait. I mean, that's just, look at it. It's just perfect. And I have them there in with a 20-gram head already rigged. Two different blues for when the joeys show up, right? So that's the Mad Shad. From Madness again. I mean, Madness are just such a good company that, you know, anything they bring out, I always pay attention to. I know the lads who were fishing the English Channel were doing really, really well in those Mad Shads, right? They were catching a lot of really big fish. So, drop a go-go juice. Clearly attractive to the bass. So they finally came back into stock, right? That's my favourite colour in the feed popper. It's called dolphin fish. If you notice, what the fish can see is chartreuse, white and chartreuse on the bottom. I mean, I have absolutely, and then it's got the flashy reflective sides. The green on the back is just for your benefit, so you can actually see the bait, right? I've absolutely annihilated fish in brown water, even in brown water and river water on those baits. Superb. Love that colour, right? And then I got the 121 in flashy. I mean, look at that. It's kind of got a hue of pink. It's going to reflect the light. A load of sparkle in it. Just super. So that's the new 121, the feed. It's 30 grams. It's a bit heavier and extra ball bearing, right? We got the dolphin fish in the 100 as well, right? We also have some well, we have more on the way anyway, but we have some chartreuse back, feed 100. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. So much stuff to go through to try and show you guys. The other thing that's going up today or whatever is I got in a bunch of P-boys for the trout man. I got them in two different colors. I got them in silver, 15 gram silver. So just a proven trout killer, right? Maybe one of the best casting jigs out there, to be honest. Don't think to be able to find the thing I'm looking for. I only bought a couple of these. I bought these for Prince Edward Island for the schoolies, right? That's they're the dart spin from Patrick Sabile, Band of Anglers. I mean, talk about a man who thinks outside the box. Hyperelastics. Now you'd absolutely hammer sea bass on this as well. Deadly looking little lure. Might actually get a few in, to be honest, now that I see them. I mean, talk about a man who thinks outside the box. Look at that. Lovely. Bring those to Shield and I guarantee you take big trout on that as well. It's got spinner tail, soft body, football jig head. So I mean, no matter what you do with it, it's going to be some kind of action going on there. That tail is going to be spinning like crazy on the retrieve, right? So just to mix it up, you know, to show them different stuff, show them different profiles. I mean, that's lovely. Like, look at the size of that. It's only, you know, finger sized, but it's on a lead head that you could get it out there amongst the fish, right? So now again, I only bought those in for myself. I'm stocking up for my own kit for PEI. So those one up shads in 5-inch in Mutsuguro for brown water fishing. So it's a big debate, right? Brown water, do you fish bright colours, do you fish dark colours? Believe me, fish dark colours, right? If you can fish a lure that's darker than the water, that's what you want, right? Or the other time that dark colours will absolutely slay is in the evening time. So look at that. That's just a thing of beauty, right? In brown water, that's going to fish its socks off. Again, I mean, there's a number of ways you could, you know, if you're coastal fishing, hook it on a coyote or a rolling head. If you're estuary fishing in the skinny stuff, fish it offset, right? Or you know, put it onto fishing a big channel, put it onto an ultimate eel head or whatever. But absolutely gorgeous bait. We haven't even got the good stuff yet, folks, believe me. So here comes the good stuff. I mean, I'm just blown away by these. I saw these on YouTube and it was like, oh my god. So these are the BR heads, okay, from the Bay Rough from Duo, right? And these are a 107 gram. Now I'm going to put up a link to them in action. Henry, Mr. Gilby texted me the other morning. He said, "What do you think of these?" It's like, I have them on the way, Henry. I'm ahead of you. But they are absolutely fantastic, right? So Duo have developed them specific, you know that word I'm trying to say, intentionally, right? For that kind of mid-strolling type fishing that has taken over largemouth bass fishing. But really you're going to be able to fish any of your small plastics onto that head, right? I mean, now I have them in bigger sizes too, so I'm definitely going to be keeping a pack of these for myself. So I'll open this packet. Right, so let me show you how this works, if I can actually get into the goddamn packet. So here's the head, that's the body to go with it, right? And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies. Look at that. I mean, just awesome. Now, so the deal is, if you hook it, I can't remember which way, you'll have a look at the video. They'll teach you better than I will. But if you, so the bait is kind of, let me show you the bait itself. The bait is kind of almost like triangular shaped, right? And there's no need for glue, right? Because it has its own hook, right? So the bait is like a triangular shape, right? This camera is so poor, I'm sorry. I'm waiting on the new camera. So, and it's got a flat edge. You can see the flat edge there, right? So if you hook it, I think if you hook it flat edge up, well, it'll tell you in the video. But if you hook it one way up, it's got this really wide dart, right? But if you hook it the other way up, which I presume actually, yeah, if you hook it that way up, right, so this way up, it's got a really tight action on the retrieve, right? So changing the orientation of the bait totally changes the action of the lure. Now somebody messaged me yesterday, I can't remember who it was, who's been fishing these, and said to get it to work you have to really be quite precise. But like, okay, fair enough, so you're gonna have to be quite precise. But there it is, hooked the other way around. But either way, like you can see the potential in that, and it comes in a range, a smashing range of colors. I actually kind of prefer it the other way, to be honest, and that's a little bit too far, so let's just pull that back a bit. There we go, that's better. So I mean, wow. Right, that's gonna get the job done. Look at that. So that's the Bay Rough. It comes in a range of sizes, colours. More sizes, more colours, really bright colours. So I'm going to build on that range the whole time as I go, right? But we've got lots of diversity with the, what have we got in the head? So we've got 7 grams, we've got 12 grams. I think I just got 7s and 12s, so I concentrated on the, yeah, 7s and 12s at the moment, right? But we're going to build that out as well, right? I just wanted to be sure, you know, there's only so much I can expose myself until the bait is proven. And once it's proven bait, I can leave it sit in stock. I've noticed that for some reason, I don't know why, right? These are not selling, right? If you don't have one of those in your box, you're crazy. And that's just the plain simple facts. You're absolutely nuts. That's probably the best hard lure you can buy for bass. Full stop. Like, full stop. It fishes incredibly well. I built out the colour range again. It's the Feed Shallow 128, and like I've seen so many double figure fish caught on this lure, and that's why I refuse to give up on it. I'll keep it in stock. I'll hold it. Eventually, fellas, what'll happen is I'll get out with the GoPro and I'll just fish the Feed Shallow for a day. I won't fish anything else, and you'll see what'll happen. So I got it in that's flash. I got a lovely smelt imitation, right? Let me show you that. That's the smelt color. I mean, I've never seen any hard bait that looks more like a river smelt. I'd have to take it out of the packet, and I'm not going to because I already own a couple. And then I got good old fashioned plain white, because white catches bass. It's that simple, right? So matte white. But I might put those on special maybe today. I might do a bit of a special on the Feed Shallows today or tomorrow. If I do it today, it won't be functional until tomorrow. I mean, I've so much more stuff to go through. It's another pop queen for PEI. That's going on the X1 travel rod. That is going to absolutely annihilate stripers, isn't it? I couldn't resist them. I saw them. I was like, oh Jesus, look at those things. So more fish rollers. Okay, that's just fish roller in 3. These are going to be Mad Shads. Yeah, just those are pink Mad Shads. Now, these I bought for myself because, look, they're fantastic bait. I mean, they're incredibly effective, but they essentially are a 2-fish bait, right? Like, they just get destroyed. So if I sell them into the market, fellas are going to be like, oh, those are really soft and da 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 da. They are really soft, right? But I will fish them in spots where I know that double figure fish hang out, and they have incredible action. Mad fin from Madness. I mean, look at the colour of them even, you know, it's that kind of white, Wakizaji type. It's like hint of gold, and just beautiful. I can't wait to get this new camera set up. I was onto them, I was like, come on, will you? So look at this guy. So that's the little 4-inch, kind of like a naturally goby, sandy type, little tiny fish, blinny type colour, right? All the stuff that bass feed on. If bass don't feed, anybody here who's ever killed a bass, how many times have you found sand eel in it? Very rarely. Sand eel are hard to catch. Oh yeah. Oh Jesus, look at these. These are lovely now. I'm keeping a pack of these for myself, that's for sure. So Oh my God. Holy smoke. Look at those. Try not to lose those while I'm home. Give me my head there. Jesus Christ, look at this. Sorry now, it's very rare that I get. Oh, that's saucy. I mean, that is just absolutely saucy. Look at that. Jesus. I'm starting to think Madness are just the best soft plastics company in the world. Like, there's no homegrown producer going to compete with that. Don't care how good you are. Oh my God, that's saucy. I've not got that on very well. It's not going to do it much justice if I don't hook it right. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. That's the Mariel 90 in Baby Bass. Now, I'm not doing a very good job of hooking that up, but that really is something else. It's just super colour. Almost translucent, but just sparkles, green and silver. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got them back in the Wakasajis as well. They are Secret Awashis rather. We got the Wakasajis too. So full range of Mariel 90s available. Some new hard baits. Obviously the fish rollers, which I think are going to do incredibly well this year. I got some. Those are more Wakasajis. There's a Mad Shad and IU, right? So we really have covered all the basics today. I got some high quality braid. Then I got some more affordable braid, okay, for guys who can't afford to splash out a fortune on braid. It's £16, okay, more than enough. So we got some old favourites. We got the pink back, right, and then we got into some big baits too. So for those big fish hunters, we got the 6.5 inch fish roller, right? So that's going to be when you look for those really big fish or from the boat or whatever, right? That's the Raid fish roller. We've got loads of spindle worms in 4.5 inch and 6 inch in different colours. Yeah, you can see we've got lots of different colours in the 5 inch, right? Lovely greens and natural colours. More sparkle berry, which is just an awesome pollock imitation. Yeah. So again, absolutely awesome lure from Duo, the Duo Lance 120. Super. You don't have a sinking lure in your box, you're missing out, right? So I bought those in, especially for beach fishermen. If you're fishing the beach, you're fishing the surf, you've got to have a sinking lure. Or if you're fishing from the boat and you're fishing over reefs, you got to get any depth. Bought a couple of dark mackerel Z-claws, but I bought those for myself, to be honest with you. They didn't sell at all. There's just thousands of those sitting there. Nobody wants them. I don't know why. People stray away from dark colours. Then I have the full range of battery heads and stuff available again. That's more Baby Bass in the fish. I'm going to be a long time putting all of this stuff online, lads. So yeah, some more of the 4 inch fish roller. fish roller. I want to show you something. Oh yeah, so Exorus 110 in silent. Okay, really important to have a silent lure. Sometimes the noise, if you see a shoal of bass mooching around, the noise might spook them, right? That's absolutely beautiful. Story 110 in the silent. But I had a lure I wanted to show you that I think it's going to be, now it's not going to be cheap, right? But it's going to be something else. And I can't find it. Why can't I find it? Ah, okay. It's not in the right, it's not the colour I wanted to show you, but I'll show you it anyway. This is the Kirinji 120 from Megabass. Okay. So, look at that. It's a crossover between a subsurface walker and a popper. So it's going to fish in that very top layer of water. That thing is going to be absolutely lethal. I also have it in another really nice colour that I can't lay my hands on. So I don't know about you guys, but I am totally exhausted after that. There was so much tackle to get through. And I still have more stuff to go. So as you can see, the site is going to be really well stocked. We might do a special on feed shallows today. Just let me have a think about that. Other than that, guys, tight lines, have a really good day. It's good to be back, feeling halfway like a human being, and back in business, and bringing proper bass fishing kit to the Irish market, right? So you get some proper Japanese kit here at your feet, like available to you. So enjoy, and again, thanks for all your support, and well done to any of the young lads who are currently working away on designs for a logo for the site. So till the next time, guys, stay well, stay safe. We're going to talk a bit about dark sleeper fishing next time. Okay, be good.